Thanks for that introduction, and congratulations on your re-election. Terrific. One of the great leaders in the state of Illinois. In 2017, when I stood before you as a candidate for governor, I was really humbled that you would put your faith in me. And I knew that our partnership would begin to change the direction of our state to the benefit of students and parents and schools and universities and, yes, teachers and paraprofessionals. And today, with your support of the fair tax, we embark together on this journey to change the trajectory of our state forever. I had a teacher in grammar school who every day had a word of the day on the board. So I'm going to be the teacher today and say the word of the day is respect. I respect you. I know the teachers in this audience go way beyond what is required of you. Stocking your classrooms with snacks and supplies for the kids who don't have them. Dedicating your school hours and your after-school hours to extracurricular activities and extra study sessions. And I know that nurses and counselors and all of you who work to improve our children's lives are making sure that we are providing students with mentally and to make sure that they're mentally and physically ready to go to school and to study, and making sure that those who need them get trauma-informed services. Now, it's up to us to provide those for you. But I know that the bus drivers who are in this room work to get our kids safely to school on time. Just as the custodians put your hearts into preparing those classrooms so that they're ready for the day ahead. And still others whose job it is to make schools a welcoming place for all the students who come in every day. All of you and members that you represent are shaping the future of Illinois students and communities every day. You not only open doors for our children, you show them how to open the doors that exist for them on their own. And it's my honor to be your partner in helping you and your students open those doors. Last year you helped me to defeat a governor who tried to bankrupt schools and bust our unions. And we should celebrate that. He's out of here. And now 9 months into our new administration, I'm so unbelievably proud of what we've been able to accomplish together. We've transformed the outlook for our state's school finances and for families all across Illinois. And every one of those achievements that Dan listed couldn't have happened without your support on the ground, in your home communities and in Springfield. Together, we raised teachers' salaries by instituting a new statewide teacher minimum wage. And you heard Dan say, together we repealed the pension liability cap. Together, we're abolishing the Charter School Commission. For graduate assistants to work at universities to organize and fight for better wages and working conditions. And together, and this is an important one, we passed a bipartisan balanced budget that makes historic levels of new investments in education. Now I want to tell you, I went to Tennessee to the National Council of State Legislators. And I stood in front of legislators from all over the country. And I told the story about our session this last spring. And I told them that we passed passed a bipartisan balanced budget, and there was utter and complete silence. And I said, no, folks, you don't understand. I'm from Illinois. And then I got a big round of applause. 2 years without a budget, a bipartisan balanced budget, that's pretty good. We now have record levels of funding for early childhood and for K-12 education, so that we can invest in teachers and classrooms and enrichment opportunities and give our kids a better foundation for success. We added $50 million in early childhood education funding and over $450 million for K-12 education. And in higher ed, we're putting our money where our mouth is and reminding the world that Illinois' post-secondary schools are world-class, and they're going to stay that way. At our universities, we increased annual funding by over $50 million, at our community colleges by $14 million, and from our capital bill, we're investing over $3 billion in new classrooms and labs while fixing dilapidated buildings. Merit-based scholarships and MAP grants to 10,000 more students so that our college-bound young people, the ones that you serve, along with their families, are in a better position to afford a post-secondary education. It's our job to make college more affordable. I'm going to do it. And for kids who choose not to go to college, they should have the ability to learn a skill and earn a decent wage, even right out of high school. Vocational and career and technical education dollars for the first time in many, many years. Our kids' futures start in our schools, and the choices that we make about our schools will determine the quality of the opportunities ahead. And let me be clear. Let me be perfectly clear. If we want good schools, we need to pay for good schools. Responsibility doesn't mean that we can't have excellent education in Illinois. In fact, if we want to balance our future budgets, we need to have students graduating from schools with well-paid teachers and paraprofessionals, with high-quality trauma-informed services, and where equity is practiced at every level. The path to a stable financial future for Illinois doesn't decimate the very services that set our families up for success. On the contrary, those programs are essential to our long-term prosperity as a state. So we've got to set our state in a new direction. Putting our state on firm fiscal footing begins in earnest November of next year, when voters will have the power to say yes to a fair tax system that will improve the trajectory of our state's finances forever. We have an opportunity to lower income taxes on the vast majority of the people of Illinois, the middle class and those who are striving to get there, and to ask the wealthiest in our state, frankly, to pay more. People will get to vote to fund our schools properly and to rebuild social services and our social service safety net that was devastated by my predecessor and his cronies. The fair tax will bring fiscal responsibility and balanced budgets and will relieve some of the tax burden on hardworking Illinoisans. And if you don't believe me, we made it very easy for you to figure out for yourself. So, on your phones, if you're not staring at me right now, you're looking at your phone. Or later, you can go to illinois.gov/fair tax calculator and look for yourself. You don't have to be a math teacher to understand how much worse the alternatives are to the fair tax and how much worse they would be really for everyone in our state, especially for our schools. Alternative one, this is the alternative to the fair tax. It's to cut by 15% the very pillars that will help us grow: education, public safety, childcare, services for our veterans and our seniors. We can cut those by 15%. That would lead to a balanced budget. That's choice one, alternative one. Alternative two is an across-the-board increase in our flat income tax rate, forcing everyone in this room and everyone in the middle class and those striving to get there and everyone else to pay 20% more in income taxes. So there's really one choice available to us, and that's saying yes to a fair tax. It is time to move Illinois into the 21st century so that we can strengthen schools across the state, so we can build a state where all students can thrive, and we can build a foundation so that Illinois' families can succeed. One final note to all of you. I said that today's word is respect. I want you to know that every day that I wake up in this job, doing this job as governor, I think about how I can live up to the obligation that we have to respect you. Because our state's future is dependent upon our education system. It is dependent upon making sure that every child in our state has an opportunity. I really believe that our economic future, our fiscal future, everything about the future of the state of Illinois, whether we are going to do better in the future or worse, is all dependent on us working together, on me helping you do the job that you do. Thank you. Thank you for lifting up the entire state of Illinois. Thank you for looking to the future of the state and making us all better. Thank you.